Hi guys, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Clangin and Bangin with Mikey, episode 176. And today, man, we're just gonna shoot the shit. Nothing really popping off. Um, but I want to talk about a couple books I've been reading. First book is Young Jeezy's Adversity for Sale. And that's what I'm currently reading. I'm like halfway through the book. It's a pretty good book. Easy read. A couple hundred pages, maybe 200-300, not that bad. This other book that I'm reading, I know the author personally. It's called, From Jim Bro to IBB Pro. That's a little short book. It's like 80 pages. Should take you no more than 3 hours to read this shit. If that. Anyway, both books are good. I have a tendency to read a lot. I don't read as much as I used to because I simply just don't have the time because it's like I have responsibilities and shit. Brother's got a full-time job, and all the fun stuff that comes with it, right? I think that's important though, to set aside time and actually find things that pique your interest and find things that actually bring value to your life. Because we're not meant to stay behind a fucking screen all day, or we're not meant to watch TV, for 10, 12 hours a day. Don't get me wrong, those days are great, but it's not something that you should be doing on a day-to-day basis. Come to think about it, I don't even remember the last movie I went to. Yeah, that's how long it's been. Well, because nowadays you don't really have to go to the movie theater. You can wait a month and this shit's already on HBO or Netflix or whatever it is, right? So anyway, what I wanted to talk about today, because I lied, there is some shit I want to talk about, man, in this podcast. What we're going to talk about is the fact that stop giving people the benefit of the doubt. Just because you wouldn't do them like that doesn't mean they won't do you like that. A lot of people will use and abuse you simply because you let them. Joel Santana said it best, man. He's like, we're all here to get used. We're not here to get misused. And it's true. Everybody has a role that they have to play. And I'm a firm believer in that. You're never going to catch me, doing more than the most, because niggas don't get down like that. Brothers don't get down like that, I should say that. It's never been in me, man. It's never been in me to be the center of attention. It's never been in me to do things out of the ordinary. It's never been in me to just have people talk about me, right? I know a lot of people who I grew up with, their life took a different turn. I'm talking drug dealers, I'm talking convicted murderers, I'm talking, all these cats, right? And I remember this one particular individual, their significant other was on social media talking about how this is so messed up, yada, 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 boom, 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 boom. People rap, people snitch, and they break up families. I'm like, at the end of the day, nobody forced him to do what he did. So, like, that was really strange. Like, it was sad to see because it's like you're sitting there blaming everybody else, and the person that you should be blaming is in a cell, and it's like, it's unfortunate because a lot of people who do that shit, you don't have to do it. Most guys that I know, we come from the same background. We come from middle class families. Mom and pops work for the state or the federal government or whatever it is. Or some people I know have their own businesses, and so it's like, it's just things of that nature where it's like you didn't have to do what you did, but you did it anyway. And when you get caught, you have nobody to blame but yourself, right? And getting back to my original topic, which is stop giving people the benefit of the doubt. A lot of the times people will do that. They will give me the benefit of the doubt because they want to see you do better, X, Y, and Z, yada, 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 all this shit, right? I'm like, yeah, that's cool, that's great, but if somebody burns you multiple times, do you need to go back and get burned again? It's like 50 Cent once said, he had that quote, his grandfather used to always tell him, if it looked like a snake, it rattled like a snake, what else you gotta know that it's gonna be a snake? Makes sense. Like, look at what people are doing and their behaviors and their actions, not their words. Anybody can say whatever they want to say to get whatever they need done, right? And it's really, really interesting how people will have on this persona or this facade that they're X, Y, and Z, but in reality, they're not. In reality, they're far from it. The one thing I hate when people, the one thing I genuinely hate is when people say, I'm a good person, I don't know why this is happening to me. Like, no, you're not a good person. Because if you were a good person, you, number one, you wouldn't have to say that. And number two, you probably wouldn't be in the situation that you're in. And what I mean by that is, like, when people say, I'm a good person, this and this and that, it's like, yeah, you might think you are, you know, you might think you're a good person, you might think you're X, Y, and Z, but the universe don't think that. The universe doesn't think that because the universe sees how you move, you know. My father used to always tell me when he was alive, man, he used to always say, man, you can lie to other people, but once you start lying to yourself, that's how you know you got issues. And it's true. A lot of the time, people will lie to themselves just to justify their shitty behavior. Or they'll sit there and be like, you know, they'll make excuses for somebody. I'm like, no, stop doing that. Because number one is like, they don't care about you. And number two, if they did, they're going about it in a really weird way to do that. Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. And I think that's extremely important to realize that, because it's like, just because you're a good person doesn't mean that the people around you are good. You know, a lot of the times people will be surrounded by individuals who aren't good for them, who peer pressure them into doing things that they shouldn't be doing. You know, whether it's dating somebody or whether it's, you know, staying in certain situations or making excuses for shitty behavior. Or it's like, it just everything that falls into it, right? I used to have this one friend. She used to always say, "Oh, I don't know why so and so doesn't, you know, doesn't like so and so." I'm like, I know why, and so does she. You know, she's promiscuous. You know what I mean? So it was like, you know, she makes a habit of using people and sleeping with married men. You know, so it was like, you can't really get mad at that, because it's like, you know, like, you can't get mad how some people don't like her, because what's there to like? I mean, like, because why would somebody lie about that, right? And it's like, it just really strange and just really awkward, because it's like I said, behavior never lies. People lie all the fucking time. You know, they'll sit there and give you some sob story, and they'll be like, "Oh, okay, I feel sorry for you." Yeah, so do I. But it doesn't mean we gotta talk. It doesn't mean that we have to do anything of that nature, because it's like, who are you to me? Why are we talking? You know, why are we sitting here having a conversation when we both know it's not gonna go anywhere? Excuse me. Like, why are we having a conversation with about something that's not worth my time? You know, stop giving people the benefit of the doubt, man. And a lot of the times, man, as I've gotten older, I realize that people know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. They just don't care. You know, they don't care because they care more about their perception of how they're viewed, meaning their reputation versus their character. Reputation is what people think of you. Character is who you are. Character is always going to be more important. You know, it's like some people may think I'm an asshole. Sometimes they're right. But a lot of the times, man, it's like I will do whatever I can within, you know, the legalities of the law to help somebody out. I'm never going to turn my back on somebody if I can help them out. You know what I mean? And that's my character. That's always been my character. I'm never not going to do that, you know? It's not going to happen. And I think it's imperative to realize that, man, because like a lot of people will use that to play with you, to play with your emotions, and to make you, you know, try to gaslight you, right? Speaking of gaslighting, I had asked this one particular individual once. I was like, "Hey, were you trying to gaslight me the other day?" In a text message, right? I asked him that, and this individual laughed at the message. But if I'm asking a question, it means that I've already know the answer. The answer was yes. I just want to see if this individual, you know, would lie, you know, would either lie to my face about it or not answer it. And basically, I got the answer that I was looking for. And this individual accused me of gaslighting her. And I'm like, nah, it's like, I asked you a simple question. You can't answer it. It's not gaslighting. Your inability to answer a question says more about you than anything else. And what's sad is that me and this particular individual, we were once best friends. Well, I shouldn't say best friends. I was more of a friend to this individual than she was. And as you grow older, you realize, man, and it's like a lot of people ain't genuine. A lot of people ain't this, a lot of people ain't that. A lot of people will present themselves to the world as this whatever package gets them to be liked, right? But in reality, they're not that. In reality, most people, they are the opposite of what they present to the world. A lot of people will find ways to blame other people, find ways to become, what's the word I'm looking for? Accepted by people who don't really care about them, who guilt trip them, you know, simply because they want to be accepted by somebody. How I equate that is like the person who jumps from relationship to relationship. I'm talking guys, girls, whatever it is, right? I've always found that weird, you know. And people want to be like, oh, so and so, this, so and so. Like, no, no. What I see is a person, him or her, jumping from relationship to relationship, not spending no time with themselves. Not wanting to do the work on themselves to get better. Tell me I'm wrong, you know. And in my experience, my last relationship, that was like 7, 8 years ago. I mean, of course, I've dated here and there, but this wasn't really my thing, right? You know, like these girls wasn't really, my cup of tea for the most part. Cause it's like you get to talking to people, and then like, okay, yeah, whatever, and then slowly but surely you start chipping away at shit, and then you realize that, oh, like this ain't who she said she was. Out of the beginning, you know, all this shit she was talking about in the beginning was obviously bullshit, because look at how she's moving, right? Or like when people sit there and complain about in former situations or whatever it is, I'm like, yo, like, why you keep going back? And I'm not talking about a romantic interest. I'm just talking about people that I know. And I was like, if you keep going back, how you gonna go forward? Like, what? It's like, yeah. How are you gonna go forward if you keep moving backwards? Yeah. How are you gonna know your worth if you keep dealing with people who don't respect your worth? Matter of fact, how can you know your worth if you don't respect yourself? Yeah. It's like, stop giving people the benefit of the doubt and see them for who they are. They may not like you because they know that you see through the bullshit, but it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, if they really cared about you, they would not be doing what they're doing. You know, or if they cared about you, they wouldn't constantly hurt you. Now, I don't mean physically. I'm talking emotionally, psychologically. Playing with your emotions. And a lot of the times, women will do this. They'll play with our emotions, and then when us men clap back, they want to sit there and play victim. I'm like, no, you can't do that, because you don't get the opportunity to try to gaslight us, try to play with us, and then when shit goes differently, you feel a certain way about it. Like, no, you can't do that. Like, you don't get to sit there and have your cake and eat it too. And what I find is that a lot of the times, a lot of women will sit there and never take accountability for what they've done, how they treated you, until you leave. It's like, they'll sit there and point out, oh, everything you did wrong, but they'll never ever once will take accountability for, like, oh damn, maybe he was doing it this way because I was treating him like, X, Y, and Z, right? Makes sense. Because why would somebody go out their way to do what they've been doing if they don't love you or respect you? Somebody who loves you and respects you doesn't constantly disrespect you. Let me say that one more time. Somebody who loves and respects you doesn't constantly disrespect you. Now, there are going to be moments of disrespect where you can be like, damn, bro, I shouldn't have said it that way. This isn't what I meant, right? But stop giving people the benefit of the doubt. Once people show you who they are, believe them. Believe them like how all of y'all watch these reality TV shows, right? It's the same shit. Don't sit there and give people the benefit of the doubt and be like, and then wonder why, oh, how come they treating me like this and this and that? Bro, because you're seeing you in them. You're trying to see yourself in somebody else, and it doesn't work. Quick story to wrap this up. When I was in college, was I in college? Yeah, I was in college. And used to be this spot, this bar I used to go on to. Yeah, little local spot, whatever. It was chill. And I ended up befriending this one guy. And we all around the same age. And so, coming to find out, His brother, he wanted to go out every fucking weekend. And I'm like, nah, dog, I'm cool. I go maybe once or twice a month, you know, whatever, just show face, whatever, right? But his brother never had any money. And I figured that out the first, the first time. I'm like, damn, nigga, it's like we out and you ain't got no bread. And there was another time too where I guess he was catching the city bus somewhere or whatever it was. And he was like, yo, hey man, can you drop me off, at my crib? And mind you, it's like 10 o'clock on a Sunday, right? Matter of fact, I know it's on a Sunday. It's 10 o'clock on a Sunday and it's raining. I'm like, no. What the fuck you think this is? So I text dude back, like, nah, dog, I'm sorry. Can't do it. This motherfucker start begging me, right? So I'm like, yo, hold up. Text him back. I'm like, yo, I just went outside and I didn't see the word taxi cab on my car. Lose my number. And the dude had the nerve to say, why you treating me like this? I'm like, bro, because you're a grown-ass man who puts himself in situations where you got to depend on other people. Nobody's doing that. No grown-ass man is doing that. Mind you, I was maybe 22, 23 at the time. Yeah. And this is a dude just, when I say he couldn't get it together, if somebody gave him a blueprint, nah, ain't happening. And I guess everybody found out about it. And I'm like, yo, it was like, yeah, like he may be a cool dude, but I ain't rocking with him because it's like, he can't even take care of himself. Like, it's like that one song with you go from the Chris Brown when Chris Brown says, how you gonna hate the club if you can't even get in the club? It's the same thing. Bro could not pay the cover fee to get in. Nigga was broke, and he was dependent on other people's generosity, basically being a leech, And I'm like, nah. That ain't gonna fly here, bro. But like I said, man, don't stop giving people the benefit of the doubt. They're not you. And you can't see yourself in somebody else or a group of people. You don't have the same characteristics as you do. Anyway, y'all, this is about 23 minutes of your life that y'all won't get back. Hope y'all keeping the full peace. Probably play positive pushing. I'll see y'all next week. I love y'all. Like I always say, know your worth because you're better than what you are. Peace.